Hey everyone! Welcome back! I am back today with more Attack on Titan. You guys, if you're joining me early today, you know what it means. It means you are one of my awesome patrons. Thank you so much, and as always, you know I'm sending you out those big old hugs right through that screen. And if not, still thank you for joining me today. I'm really glad you're here. I do hope you'll consider supporting me that way. The link to my Patreon is going to be in the description down below. So, there's a lot to talk about with the last episode of Attack on Titan because in the couple minutes I took between that reaction and this reaction, I had a snack, I fixed my makeup a little bit. I mean, still all messed up in here, but I had a little bit of time to think a little bit more about the individual scenes of the episode, and I wanted to address Bertholdt's death because talk about conflict. Talk about like conflicting feelings. That we have Bertholdt, who we know was the one who like took Eren or Armin out in the first place, has been working against humanity, you know, helped to kill, or at least was there when like the Marco incident happened. You know, we know he's not on our side, yet at the same time, they did such an amazing job of building him up as a layered person with his own, you know, like, he wasn't just like, yeah, I'm a bad guy now, you know? It was like, he had his own hopes and goals and feelings and, you know, genuinely cared about, you know, other people in his life. And, I think to a degree even came to, you know, definitely care about the people he was taught to hate as well, which, you know, is very tough when you consider he didn't have like a schism in his personality like Reiner. He just had to bear the weight of that. You know, like that conflicting feeling. And to have him like getting eaten and he turns as everyone watches and he's like, help me, help me. And he's like crying out for help to them as they just like watch like, such an intense moment. I was so caught up. I don't know if I like fully addressed just what a crazy moment that was, but I wanted to mention it here that, I mean, like, I knew I was conflicted in that moment, but I don't think the full weight had sat on me yet of him like screaming out to them for help and them having to watch him die. But he's their enemy, but he's their friend, but he has to be eaten in order for Armin to actually be able to live as like a sentient person. I mean, wow. Talk about mixed feelings, you guys. And that was built up over, I mean, you've got to love the character building on this show because it is unlike any other. I'm sure there are other great shows that have great character building, but I mean, like, this is stuff we've been building for a long time. And that moment was very, very intense and very crazy. So, overall, I would consider the episode a win. I know I just feel so bad about Smith. I see that the name of this episode is called The Basement, and it just like, oh, it's such a kicker that like he didn't get to live to see, but he had made his peace with that, you know what I mean? But I mean, it still doesn't make it any better that like he never got to live out his dream, and he kind of died as this, I don't think he died as like a devil. I think Levi's right that like he finally overcame that and now he deserved to rest. But it's just such a shame that he had to become this, he had to harden himself and be able to like lead all these people into death and convince them, and you know, in order to even have the victories that we did have. And again, like I said this in my last reaction, but he was what we needed. He was what that world needed for that, you know. It's just such an awful thing that like so many bodies had to pile up in order to even get to the point where we are now. And Smith was responsible for convincing so many of those bodies, or making so many of the decisions that led to circumstances like that, where people would just be killed for like seemingly no like I said this at the beginning of the last episode, like it just feels like we've had so many times where we've just like watched people die and it's like, oh, we still didn't even win, It's like you just keep Smith just kept like sending people out there to their deaths over and over, and like that's how war goes. Like it just happens over and over, and hope that like someday, like this will be for the greater good. But it's a horrible thing for like for the present, and for even like the near future. Like we've been like, this is 3 seasons on this show, and we have made some good progress and some good headway, but like look at all we've lost. It's just, I don't know, I don't mean to rant in like a very heady and existential kind of way, but I think you guys know what I'm getting at. That all being said, my sweet little love, my sweet precious boy is back. Now I'm sure that coming to grips with being a Titan is going to be tough, but the important thing is he's alive and he's okay. And I almost feel guilty with like all the other really nasty stuff going on, just being like really happy and grateful that my sweet boy is alive. He's my favorite character, guys. I love him. I don't want to feel guilty for being happy that he's alive, but I kind of do. But I'm also like glad that I don't. Did you know, I didn't say this last time, but like I couldn't even hear the word steam after I saw episode 17. Like someone said the word steam to me and I was like, don't say that word. And they were like, what? I'm like, it has to do with the show. I can't get into it. But don't ever say that word to me again. And they're like, uh-huh. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure anyone who knows me is used to the craziness by now, but yeah, I could not hear the word steam, guys. You know those little bags of vegetables that you put in your microwave? I had to call them in bag. All right, guys, no, I'm just being silly. All right, this is going to be a big episode. We've waited a long time to get to this point. What do you say we jump in? The basement. Let's go. Is that Bertholdt saying it hurts? Don't tell me Bertholdt's like still alive in there. Oh God. Oh. That's right, Sasha got really badly hurt. Oh. Squeeze him. Not too hard though. Oh, Armin has no idea. Sweetie pie. Oh God, someone's got to tell him. He's the colossal Titan now. Oh yeah, just pass that off on to Eren. There you go. That's a lot to take in. Baby! Oh, honey. Because you're the future, baby. They had that conversation. Ah! Sheesh. Mikasa in particular. Right, yeah. It really was. least she's honest. For real. It's a horrible situation. It's a lot of pressure. Yes, you can. I mean, you'll get there. Right. I don't think anyone can ever, like, replace him, but in terms of rank. That's right. No regrets. I'm sorry? Sasha. No one's ready for Sasha. Here we go, guys. I've been waiting for this for like 55 episodes. It's on you now, baby. To live up to everything that he set in motion. It's gotta be weird for Eren and Mikasa to be walking through there with it being all destroyed. Aww. Aww. Oh! Our boy Hans. To have to relive that. Let's put an end to this, guys. Let's let this be the end of the death and the tragedy. Okay, basement key. Grisha Jaeger, having come from outside the walls and thus knowing many secrets, entrusted the basement key to his son. The basement will likely reveal the mysteries of the world which Grisha couldn't mention to anyone. All right, so we pretty much knew all of that, but I like to pause them now because you never know what they're going to drop on you in the middle of the episode that might come in handy. Here we go. Here we go, you guys. Ready to learn humanity's secrets? Or secrets of the Titans, rather? I'm so nervous right now. I don't even know what to expect. Oh my god, that key better fit. I'm gonna be so upset. Does it fit? No! You've got to be kidding. Well, that's one way to do it. How did I know that key wasn't gonna fit? It's like... That's like this whole series. You make it all that way and the key doesn't fit. Okay. Well, thankfully we still got in. Aww. They were really like her family too, you know? They took her in. Uh-oh. That's what the key is for. Oh, there's gotta be a... No. Yeah. Yeah. Yep, thank you. That's what I was looking for. I'm like scared for them to open it. One way to find out, baby. Do it together. Aww. What? It's a picture. Mm-hmm.
人類が壁の外をろくに出歩けない以上は、人類が巨人に食い尽くされたことを確認できないはずだと。
Right.
それが存在しないと思い込ませたいとか。
So that they never bother to look.
歴史書を発行する王政側の意図。考えすぎだよ。
So maybe this book is a real history book?
調査兵団が帰還いたしました。ウォールマリア奪還成功です。
Oh! He's like the first one to party. So we're just gonna skip ahead? They got the books. They must know what's inside them. Okay, here we go. Oh my god, it's a photograph. It's a photograph. They don't even know what a photograph is. But they wouldn't know that because they've been stuck inside those walls.
人類が優雅に暮らす壁の外から来た。人類は滅んでなどいない。この本を最初に手にする者が同胞であることを願う。早くしないと見えなくなるぞ。
待ってお兄さん。待ちなさい、二人とも。外に出るときは腕章を忘れるなって言ってるだろ。ベルシャ、壁の外には絶対に出るんじゃないよ。
おい、待て。分かってるよ、母さん。
行ってきまーす。
ほら。
Oh, yes. No. There is much more technology, I believe.
私はまず。
Are they really like in the 20s or 10s or something?
あそこから何が見えるんだろう。
Oh no, what's he gonna do? Oh god, they're gonna go try to get on the airship, aren't they? This is probably how he ended up outside the walls. So they have walls too? But like different, okay. Their walls are a little different. Oh! Okay. That was not what I was expecting, I gotta say. They've been teasing the whole, like, is there humanity outside the walls thing, which I've kind of wondered about for a while. Like, it does really seem like unlikely that this is all that's left of humanity. But I never thought we'd be doing a time jump. Because to me, what that looked like is that took place like in maybe the 1910, 20s, maybe like 30s or 40s. And they had photographs. Because here's the thing. We've been told, and I think they've been told, that the year is like 800 something. And I know they didn't have cameras back in the 800s. Like, I'm not a history buff, but I'm pretty sure cameras are much, much more recent than that. I could be wrong. But I mean, then we switch to Grisha's youth, and there's like a blimp, like an they called it an airship. There's, I even like the style of clothing, like almost felt like maybe somewhere between 1910 and 1940. Or it could have been like late 1800s or something. I don't know. I mean, I'm not like a fashion expert either, but I'm really not an expert on too many things, you guys. I'm pretty sure it's not the 800s where Grisha came from. Which means not only, if I'm interpreting that correctly, this could be like one of my crazy theories. If so, just, you know, let me know. I'll zip it for next time. But not only does that mean that they lied about the Titans, everything outside the walls, there being humanity outside the walls, tons of other stuff, but they also lied about the date. They've had everyone like brainwashed into thinking that they're in the 800s and they have all this like very primitive gear and you know, oh man, I gotta say, I did not see that coming. I did not see that coming. I was expecting like more about how the Titans came to be, I think. Actually, I don't know what I was expecting. Like at this point, I was expecting literally anything. I was expecting them to say like, we're all gonna turn into llamas and sail to the moon or something. I mean, really nothing would surprise me at this point. But dang, they lied about, I mean, they could say anything they wanted because we know that they can wipe people's memories. So they could have taken like whatever the population of the people inside the walls was. I don't know if they have ever said, but let's say it was like 10,000 people. They could have just taken like 10,000 people, erased all their memories, except for the nobles who remembered everything, and just told them like, all right, the year is like 840. This is your life. This is what happened. We're, you know, the walls are all here to keep you safe, blah, blah, blah. Dang, you guys. That's some high-level conspiracy stuff right there. I mean, I thought the conspiracy ended at them just, like, trapping everyone inside the walls. So let's do a little backup here then. So that puts a little bit more into perspective what the Beast Titan was saying about, you know, you're brainwashed and you're like a victim of your father. But his dad knew. So I don't know if he's referring specifically to that. But we know that like the Beast Titan and the other Titans that came from wherever it was outside the walls, like Annie and Reiner and Bertholdt, they hated the humanity inside the walls. And I don't know why they would hate them, but it does give a little bit more perspective to think that, like, there's a whole world outside the walls, and then you have, like, people who are living in these walls thinking that it's 840-something. So there's a definite distinction, you know? Like, it does add that distinction, which is, like, what I was missing before. Like, what is the difference between the people who live outside the walls and inside the walls, aside from the fact that, like, you know, they know a lot more about the Titans and all that. Oh, dang. Wow, I didn't even put that together in my head when I saw the photograph. Because, like, they don't rub it in our faces a lot that this is, like, the year 800-something. And they don't, like, it's such a good story. You're really taken out of the like, the era, I think. So it, like, took me a second to even put that together, like, that they wouldn't even know what a photograph is. Oh my goodness. Also, I think that was Eren's aunt, Little Faye. What happened to Little Faye? Is Faye still out there outside the walls? Faye may not even have made it through that adventure. Sad to say. I hope that's not the case, but wow. Wow, you guys. All right. Does feel like we're starting to put together some pieces now. That was a great episode. So yes, we focused a lot on that. We also had some scenes with Armin where Armin is kind of dealing with, you know, why would you save me? And now he kind of has to come to terms with like, all right, well, I was given this new life. I need to make the most of it that I can. And kind of like Hanji was saying, now that all of them have been bumped up in command too, like they kind of have to do the same thing. It was a forced promotion, forced responsibility on a lot of them. But how they deal with it now is up to them. So, wow, guys. Great episode. I think it was worth the wait. I think so. Me watching season 1 probably would have disagreed, but I think now that we're here, I think it was worth the wait. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you had as much fun with that episode as I did. I'm dying to see what happens next. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please be sure to join me next time, and we will watch it together. Bye for now, guys.